Good morning, my esteemed viewers. You're welcome to today's political discussion. Today is the 14th of October, 2025, and we are still discussing Nigerian politics. Now, it is likely that elections will be held next year, 2026. I repeat, it is likely that elections will be held next year, 2026. Let's look at this report. National Assembly moves to shift presidential governorship elections to November 2026 in new Electoral Act amendment. I repeat, the National Assembly moves to shift presidential governorship elections to November 2026 in new Electoral Act amendment. Now, what is the APC planning this time? I told you that what will happen in Nigeria will shock a lot of people, and these are one of the things. What is the Tinubu administration planning this time? Shifting our election calendar from 2027 coming back to 2026. It seems that Tinubu no get time to waste time. You know, won't waste time. I told you that number one priority for Tinubu is to complete his 8 years. After completing his 8 years, he can start building his political empire. From building his political empire, he will now start restructuring Nigeria. I predicted this a long time ago. Now, I've been saying some things about Nigerian politics that this will happen. Not that I am perfect or I know it all, but I've been studying the trends over the years. I've been studying the trends. More to come. The opposition may not stand a chance come 2027. I repeat, the opposition may not stand a chance come 2027. Now look at this report. Ahead of the 2027 general elections, the National Assembly is considering amending the Electoral Act to move presidential and governorship elections from the usual February or March to November 2026. The proposal is part of the draft amendments to the 2022 Electoral Act, which specify that such elections must hold no later than 185 days before the end of the incumbent's tenure on May 29. The amendment was discussed on Monday during a one-day public hearing organized by the Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on election matters. See, I don't want to quote the sections of the Constitution. At the session, several stakeholders called for the inclusion of electronic voting and electronic transmission of results to enhance the transparency in the electoral process. Now, to give legal backing to the adjustment, the Joint Committee explained that the amendment introduces new subsections. Now section 27, subsection 5 to 7, following changes to section 76, 116, 132, and 178 of the Constitution. They don't change small. Before you know, they don't change everything. Now, you know that the APC controls the National Assembly. Any resolution that would be passed, they must have 2/3 of the National Assembly. 2/3 must vote in favor of that bill or resolution. Now, the APC is having 2/3, is having that voting power. Opposition has nothing to offer Nigeria at the National Assembly. Tinubu can just wake up this morning and say, okay, Akpabio, Abbas, this is what we want. And they will pass it. So this particular headline, National Assembly moves, no, it is sacrosanct. This is the plan. They want to make sure that election is held next year. Why? There are like 2 or 3 reasons that they are doing this thing that will not be explained to Nigerians. Number one, I want to start with the tax bill. It is very, very clear and evident that the tax bill will cause revolution in Nigeria. This tax bill, by the time they start deducting your money or you start looking at how much you're going to pay, December, they don't do elections in November. Hello? Next year, it is going to start, the tax bill is going to start from the 1st of January, implemented all through the year. So it's an annual taxation. Personal income, your personal income. You know, they don't widen the tax net. Almost every Nigerian, you are earning above 800,000 a year. Let's imagine 800,000. Somebody who earns 800,000 a year, imagine how much he going to collect. If you are collecting 50,000 a month, you'll be collecting like 600,000 a year. You are not part. If you are collecting 100,000 a month, you'll be collecting at 1.2 million naira a year. You are part of those that will be taxed. At least 800,000 minus 400,000. Then we talk about accommodation and other things. Then you are part of those that will be taxed. Imagine somebody who is collecting 100,000 under this Tinubu economy. Are you living or you are dying? Can you survive with this current Tinubu economy? Can you survive? Are you saying that you are living as a human being earning 100,000? What will the 100,000 do? An average person, for him to eat, at least manage food, should be like manage 1,500. Just one person. Not talk of a family or somebody who is a security or this or that, do menial jobs that doesn't even get up to 100,000. Some people, they collect 80,000 a month. So that taxation next year is going to cause a lot of revolution. And the people that are paying higher, the average class will be paying more. Because the big men know how to dodge taxation. They know. If you're earning more, you know how to dodge it. There's a way they do it. I can't explain it now. So the revolution next year may be kicking off from 2027. So the APC may look at it, okay, this is our tax bill now. If we allow the elections hold 2027, it is likely that these people go vex, say they don't vote APC. The opposition will just use the opportunity, do one or two things, blah, blah, blah. Nigerians will just change their mind and vote out the APC. So let us shift the elections from 2027 to 2026. That is a perfect political strategy that the APC wants to employ. Mind you, we are running an APC government. There's no opposition. Like I said, some opposition, they are planning without any crisis in their political party. They're just planning to just leave their political party to the APC because of the kind of system that has been placed by Tinubu's administration. A very dangerous precedent for any democracy at all in the world. Very, very dangerous. You see, people are just happy with the way Tinubu is muzzling opposition, doing this and that. You know, one thing I noticed about Nigerians is that they claim they want good governance, but when they are in position or benefiting at a point in time, they will be the ones that will be against good governance. Look at Madagascar. The coup in Madagascar. The army is supporting Gen Z protests. In Madagascar, the army is supporting the Gen Z protest. But in Nigeria today, the army will support the oppressors. So the kind of precedent that Tinubu is setting is not going to be good for anybody at any point in time. You see, the Fulani are waiting. Other people are waiting. That is the conversation. They are waiting for their own pound of flesh. And you cannot move forward as a country with such mentality. Yorubas are having it good now. Okay, don't worry. Tinubu will not be there forever. That is the statement. Even though it may not be like that in reality. But having that kind of mindset, people that claim to be one Nigeria, having that kind of mindset, you cannot move forward as a people. You cannot. You see, the problem is that it is only the elite that are benefiting from today's Nigeria. Benefiting from the impoverishing of the people. So the kind of political tactics or political whatever that Tinubu is implementing is what governors and other politicians will start learning to do. And it is a bad precedent. It can never get anybody anywhere. I have said it, that if Tinubu is no more today, you now know, say, the APC, they don't like themselves. If Tinubu is no more today, at least it had like 15 years or 20 years, because after 20 years, I don't know what Tinubu is doing anymore. Like, maybe it should be 100 or something around that. If you are 80, there's nothing. Look at the president of Cameroon. I heard that he is leading after the opposition declared himself winner. We heard that in a turnout of events, the president has started playing the African leadership mago-mago, and the Cameroonians are protesting. I know say they will copy the Nigerian template. So looking at it, with the way the APC is muzzling the opposition, You will come and tell me, say, Nigeria go better. You come and tell me good governance. You see, I know pity for Nigerians again, because I know that Nigerians have prepared doom for themselves, supporting a system that does not work. I've always talked about restructuring. If I tell you fact, does not mean that I don't know what is needed. So let's look at this. Because of this tax bill, the APC is pushing the election, is shifting the election from 2027 to 2026. And number two, let's look at reactions from people. These are what people suggested. Somebody says, it makes no sense increasing the time an outgoing president has to stay in office. Instead of 2 months, 6 months, for what? To cause chaos for the incoming president. Now, if you shift it to November 2026, that means if Tinubu loses the election, they have like, you know how many days? How many days? It should be 185, but now they will increase like 6 months. After January, February, March, April, 4 months, then November, December, 2 months. Before you hand over, May 1st or May 29th, I don't know, before you hand over, you know, it's 6 months. So Nigeria are suggesting that the APC, they are planning, whether it goes south or it go north or east, they will have ample time to do irreparable damage, or they will just nullify elections and conduct another election. Hello? If Tinubu were to be Jonathan, he go down nullify the election. But when you nullify election, you have little time to conduct another election, unless you push for amendment and reforms. See, Tinubu, the politics is playing the opposition. It is the kind of politics that I don't think they can ever recover from, if they really have the guts to do so. Atiku is there selfishly projecting himself. P2B is there confused. El-Rufai has gone away, because these are the three major people that can really shake anything. Any other person, Shore, Kwankwaso, all those ones, any other person is not in the scheme of things. Let's just tell ourselves the truth. But the kind of politics that Tinubu is playing, my brother. Okay, let's read. Let me guess. Somebody saying that some random aide to one of the thieves found out that the US presidential election happens every 4 years in November. Oga, we can change our election to November because America is dramatizing. Say maybe one of the presidential aides, say a structure of criminality. I've always called the APC a structure of criminality. I've always said that I can never support the APC. Tinubu can do one or two things, whatever it is, and whatever. But I can never support the APC. I can never support a structure that is built on propaganda, on deceit and lies. Everything you see that may be done today is to prove a point. Some people may not like what I'm saying now, because they believe that I must support a particular person. And if you know me very well, I tell you the way I see it. Over the months now, I've been doing, saying some predictions that this is going to happen, that's going to happen. I would not be 100% correct. I'm not Alpha and Omega. I don't know all. But for the few things I've said, you have seen reason with what I've said. I told you that Tinubu wants to collapse the southern structure. He wants to collapse it. And this is what is happeing. Bayelsa in the bag. Enugu in the bag. Alex Otti in the bag. Even though Alex Otti does not even become this year, Alex Otti is designed for the APC. He's a designer for the APC. He's a player for the APC. APC is going to capture not even middle belt. There's a Taraba state governor that's joined the APC. Have said a lot of predictions. Whether they are coming through or not does not remove the fact that I see some things and I notice, and I'll come out and tell you the way I see it. I don't want to be to start pleasing anybody. Yes. So, as it stands, the precedent that the APC is setting, I hope Tinubu restructures Nigeria before he's able to leave. There's one thing that is sure. Tinubu is winning next election. Maybe, why I'm not saying it emphatically, maybe because I should not discourage people from, joining the opposition to vote for their choice of candidate. I always say that if I see a different move from the opposition, I will speak on that action. I will say it as I see it. Maybe the opposition has done something that will be able to give Tinubu run for their money. I will say it. But as it stands now, Tinubu is winning next election. And after Tinubu wins, he's going to put somebody from his own political empire And that political umpire is going to be more influential 4 years into the political umpire of that person. It is when that person wins second term that he can start misbehaving. Typical Nigerian politician. So for the next 12 years, expect Tinubu in your faces. Tinubu has extended his tentacles, his control in every sector of Nigerian society. They are fixed everywhere. They are everywhere. Their hands are everywhere. And it is glaring. It's glaring. These are the facts. So if I say this, I cannot come and say APC is a good party. APC has never been a good party. In fact, APC is a creation. If you know how APC was created, inspired 2015, if you know the involvement of the US in creating 2015 APC, if you know what they planned with APC, if you know the politicians that joined APC, what they did, how they brought in different kind of amount of terrorists, whatever, or whoever, to destabilize the government of Jonathan. If you know what Obama did, somebody said that America that is shouting Christian genocide in Nigeria, America is the cause of Christian genocide in Nigeria. They sponsor insecurity. And you can trace that far back 2014, 2015. And APC is that platform they used. So how will I be standing here and say I support APC? Buhari that destabilized the economy and whatever it is, which some Yoruba APC politicians have confirmed offline and online, is the same President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that brought in Buhari and campaigned for him. Because through the other side, they're having an aim at power. So the structure of the APC does not inspire anybody or someone like me. So whatever it is, I just pity for the opposition. I know they contest for any position. I don't want to be president. I don't want to be anything. It is left for the opposition to do what they need to do. If they're not doing, Tinubu is winning the election and it will be much more relevant in our eyes 2027. Tinubu is going to do a lot of harm to northern Nigeria and anybody that wants to stand in his way. He understands his political compromise, sabotage, propaganda, and this politics. He's Sabian very well. See, these are elements of Nigerian politics. So, sabotage. You know what the sabotage is? Propaganda. He's Sabian very well. So he will be able to use that to any northerner we want stand, on the Fulani who want stand say he want to do strong head, he goes down and drop all those ones down. Now it is in history that the APC the only president that have pardoned a number of drug criminals. He made history. Why did he do so? In the interest of who and what? Nobody cares about how Nigerians feel anymore. There's not even Nigeria to talk about. There's no Nigerian dream. You know, they have an American dream. There's no Nigerian dream. There's no Nigerian agenda because people are not united in Nigeria. So if he does anything, he can do anything he likes. You can be complaining from the corner of your home and nothing happens. Yes. So as it stands, the APC, Tinubu may be Nigeria's last president too. See, all these things I'm saying, just put it in one side. Tinubu is possible to run for a third term because absolute power intoxicates. And this man has seen how powerful he can be and he aspires to be. And one thing about old people is that they don't reason like the way you reason. You can see the president of Cameroon with his age and his failing ill health. He doesn't care about the young people, the youth of Cameroon. He still wants to run for presidency. The Minister of Justice, you see how old he is. The leader of the parliament, you see how old he is. In their 80s. They still, see, these are wise people. These are people that are experienced too. But they don't tell themselves that they need to drop, that they need to go and rest. But still, as a black man, they will still want to run for office. Obasanjo was tempted to do the same. I'm telling you. Buhari, if Buhari had good health, I was a strong politician, would have been tempted for a third term. But you see Tinubu, in politics, they sweet and well die. The way opposition, they flop up and down, they sweet and well die. That's why he say he can do third term. You'll be sitting down there and say, it's not possible. You do this, you do that. What will you do? I asked somebody. He said that the opposition, the ADC is coming together, that they will shock Tinubu 2027, that if they allow Jonathan to become, people just have their own analysis on political issues. If you allow Jonathan to become the presidential candidate, they will flop, they will beat, they will do. And I said, okay, let's assume Jonathan is the figure of the opposition. If Tinubu rig election, what will you do? A simple question I asked him. If Tinubu rig election now, what will you do? What will you do? Like, what will you do? What will Nigerians do? What will Nigerians do? Already we are divided along tribal lines. If your tribe man is president now, a large number of your tribe people or politicians in that tribe start supporting the president, using money to bribe other people to shut up and start supporting the president. If another tribe enters now, it's a tribal thing, it's not a Nigerian thing. So if Tinubu rig the election, some people, pastors, deacon, imam, sheikh, all of them will be supporting the rigging. They'll tell you that, do you have evidence? They'll tell you that, is there any election that is perfect? Election is not perfect. We are moving towards. There isn't that excuse to just wash away the fact that somebody just committed something immoral. You see, that's why in our society today, there's no morality. Because we don't have gatekeepers of integrity. Yes, we don't have gatekeepers of integrity. Now look at what happened to the PDP. October 13, 2025, special announcement. Postponement of 103rd National Executive Committee meeting. NEC meeting has been postponed yet again. I repeat, NEC meeting of the PDP has been postponed yet again. Why? Why are they postponing? Because, see, you cannot function under the kind of politics that Tinubu is playing as an opposition party. Go and ask them in Lagos. It's high time these people sit down and realize what is going on. I've advised the opposition, this is what you need to do. Do this and do that. But yeah, they will not do. You know, some people are full of themselves. They believe they know everything. This small boy that is talking, what does he know? They're just myopic. That's why some people will still be where they are and nothing happens. Ordinary Tinubu that they underestimated yesterday, now they turn their heads with their professor in politics and analysis. They turn their heads. Under Tinubu, you cannot, as an opposition, breathe. There's a key there's a key. Let me not even say that. But as it stands, Tinubu is taking over. Tinubu has taken charge of every political aspect of Nigeria. And it's left for him to do whatever he wants to do. Nigerians are docile, they cannot stop him. It's just left for him to just do his third term. And maybe after his third term, maybe he can live long in office. May God help Nigerians.